And your post-mortem review of the game, what were some things that stood out to you, both good and bad?
Well, there was a lot of good that stood out. I mean, you look at some of the things that we did. The biggest disappointment on the defense side was 4 plays accumulated almost 200 yards of total offense. That's probably the biggest disappointment. And in each instance, each one of those plays we could have handled much better. And that's obviously something that we can look at and get corrected. So that's a plus. Offensively, we moved the ball. We moved the ball consistently. Unfortunately, we got into red zone and we didn't capitalize, and that's probably the other disappointment. And then on special teams, we had a couple opportunities and some returns, and we didn't. We missed a block and missed an opportunity, and that that's tough. But again, I like the effort. I like the attitude. I thought the guys came out and gave themselves a chance, which is all you can ask. And at the end of the day, we still have an opportunity, believe it or not.
Break down sort of the anatomy of those chunk explosive plays that have kind of been plaguing this defense over the last 5 games. From start to finish, where do you see the breakdown happening?
Well, different positions. I mean, that's, and it's unfortunate because, some of it's routine stuff. Some of it's a guy trying to do too much. Or sometimes it's been a guy not knowing how. And that's, those are young guys. Those are young guys that got to continue to develop and grow, and we got to continue to do that as coaches. In some instances, the guy's just trying to do more than he needs to. Guys need to trust the defense. This is a gap-controlled defense, and, you have to read your keys and be where you need to be.
I know that you, as a defensive-minded coach, you're always kind of looking at that side of the ball, but when you're there kind of in the central hub of everything, calling the plays, are you able to see kind of those sore spots a little bit clearer and see where things need to get fixed, or is it kind of the same as usual?
No, what I saw from this game was promising. Probably the worst part about specific things were, it's tough if there are things that you can see and can correct immediately, and a couple things are things that you can't. Those are things that come with time, with experience, with understanding, and we just got to continue to work and develop that.
I don't know if it was in the red zone, but it was sort of right on the cusp. At a 3rd and 16, Norv did an inside running play. Have you talked to him, kind of what the thinking was on that?
Well, his thinking obviously was we got a chance to pop one there, why expose the opportunity of losing more yardage and maybe possibly putting yourself in a bad spot as far as the field goal goes, and that's my thinking. I'm not going to question Norv on anything unless I think it's absolutely incorrect, and I have no issue with what Coach does as far as that was concerned.
It seemed like
go ahead. And looked on film, that last play, the interception Cam had. What was that misread on him or Devin going the wrong way?
The ball just sailed. The ball sailed. He made the proper read. He had the guy open, and unfortunately the ball sailed on him.
On the 4th down play, the series before, was Jarius the first read, or it looked like
Yes.
Devin just slipped a bit in his cut?
Yes, Jarius was the read. And then that's a play that Cam has made before, and that's the hard part. Sometimes, again, the ball sailed on him.
Did he just try and throw that too hard?
I think he tried to put it a little perfect, and it got away from him.
it seemed like, you guys got away from the run a little bit in the middle of the third to the middle of the fourth. What did you think Norv was seeing at that time to make those calls?
Well, opportunity. I mean, we moved the ball well, and we were playing well on defense. I think we held them to about 20 yards in the third quarter, and so we were moving it. Unfortunately, we weren't putting enough points on the board. We had a couple opportunities that we missed. And, it's kind of been the story, obviously, of the last 5 games, which is probably the biggest disappointment.
That play that Luke made when he chased down Jarvis Landry, what did you not only see from Henderson, unbelievable effort, but kind of what transpired before that led to that?
Well, the unfortunate part is we missed a key. He made a cut on the inside, then we missed 2 tackles. We had 2 guys that had a chance to get him down, minimal gain of about 10 to 12 yards. And when that happens, it turned into an explosive play. It was just a great effort by Luke trying to get back and make the tackle. Again, it's unfortunate. Obviously, when you have a chance to get a guy down, you've got to contain him, and we didn't contain it.
You mentioned the fact you still have a chance. Were you watching the game last night?
I watched parts of it, but I found out this morning when I got here in the office. And as little as it is, we've been there before. There are shadows of 2014, but the big key is we got New Orleans coming in, good football team. We've got to take care of our business, do the best we can, and see what happens.
What do you remember about that game in 14 in New Orleans that kind of started, the run that you guys made at the end of the
Well, I
season?
think the biggest thing was the way the guys came out. There was a big scrap up, I believe, in one of the end zones, and I think sometimes situations like that galvanize everything, and I think that really kind of helped it. But we'll see what happens. Every season has its own personality. This one started fast and it's kind of dwindled a little bit, and now we'll see what happens. We've got 3 games left. We got an opportunity in front of us. We got to take care of one at a time, and we'll see what happens. I mean, again, it's a good football team coming in.
What did you see from Dallas, what they were able to do to New Orleans? It looked like they kind of just were really aggressive with the Saints in their pass game, kind of the first half also with the Bucs.
Well, I think a big part of it, too, was that they were able to control the ball. I thought their offense moved the ball around, did some good things. I mean, I think they were only held to 13 points. The Cowboys. But, again, you got to control the ball. That helps keep Drew off the field. So, because, again, you know how explosive he is as a quarterback and they are as an offense.
Anything else? Ron, despite this losing streak, I mean, do you feel like you can somehow pull this off and get to the postseason? You're only half game back. 5%.
That's what they're giving us, so we'll see what happens. As long as you can get a chance, you just take it for what it is, and we'll see.
Obviously, you and you and Sean Payton have a long history of coaching against each other. At what point did you guys kind of start? How do you start to kind of read what a coach does and kind of the things that they do during a game, and how do you prepare for that as a coach?
Well, I think our paths crossed in 1990. I think he was with the Giants. 1999 when I was with Philadelphia. And so you kind of watch and you see. And it's just, you just kind of look and see what he's done. You look and see the success he's had, the quarterback he's had. He's been a tremendous player, and they've been a great tandem. And, to me, it's just preparing for what they're doing now. And so we'll see what happens.
You've tried different combinations up front. You did again Sunday. Are you mulling any other kind of shifts or changes this
No,
week?
what we'll do is we evaluate everybody through practice, and we tell them, we're going to play the guys that are practicing well. And as I said, the disappointing thing about this game was this was a matter of four plays. We were able to contain their runner, Chubb, for the most part until he popped a nice run. We gave up, the first play of the game defensively was a pass over the top, which is disappointing. But I thought the players played hard and played well, despite that. So the big thing that we have to do is practice well, and get ready for New Orleans.
On that first play, when they're showing 13 personnel, what do you need your secondary to do in that?
Well, what we needed was just make sure we stay on top, and the biggest thing is to keep him in position where we can see the receiver. We lost sight of him. He got into the blind spot and then lost focus on him. And the biggest thing was we just got to stay in the lead position. For what the defense was called, it called for him to stay in the lead position. And unfortunately, we didn't.
Plays like that are almost like a little bit of a mental mistake. Is that kind of par for the course when you have rookies playing big roles like that? For
young and experienced guys, yes, it is. And I think it's also about growing and maturing and learning and understanding what it takes, from the beginning to the end. And that's the thing you have to be able to be focused. I watched Tampa game against New Orleans, and you saw them fight and scrap and look like at the very end they lost a little bit of focus, and New Orleans capitalized. Well, that's what it is. Young guys lose their focus just enough, and the opponent can take advantage.
Ron, I'm planning on asking him the same this week when he's on our conference call, but is there a moment like way back when you guys are kind of rising through the ranks and assistants and kind of running into each other in different circles where you see Sean Payton and you think there's a moment where you think, yeah, okay, that guy's head coaching material?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when he was with the Giants, he was their offensive coordinator, and Jim Johnson, one of the greatest defensive coordinators I've been around, he always said it. He said, that guy's going to be special. And, he's been right. I mean, got a chance to watch him in Dallas, which was his next big stop, and he had a lot of success. So, there are guys that you do see get opportunities, and you see them grow, and you see their success. And Jim Johnson was right about him.
You guys obviously break down a lot of tape of players, but do you study coaching tendencies as well?
Well, we get a lot of that stuff based off of the computer readouts that we get, and that's what we work off of.
When you come in this morning and you're kind of taking the temperature of your team, what was the message you tried to instill?
Got a chance, 5%. That's what they're giving us, so that's what we'll take. All you need is a chance.
Was there anything said among players today, or was this all you kind of leading the charge?
It was me, for the most part, and I thought the guys responded well. So, but we'll see. We'll see how they show up Thursday and see how we practice.
Last year, the Saints' success, how big of a chip do you think that'll be for you guys this week?
New year. Last year doesn't impact this year unless you let it, unless it becomes a distraction.
Just to be sure you're going to stick with Cam this week, I mean, with the shoulder and everything.
Cam has mentioned a couple times in the past that success can be a big distraction. Do you think that playing from behind, playing as an underdog is something that a team appreciates doing? They like having the nobody believes in us factor?
Well, it just depends. It really does. If their attitude is where it needs to be, yeah. If some guys thrive on it, some guys don't, and we'll see.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.